All right, y'all. We are here with another episode of the Slot One Super Podcast. You may not recognize my voice. I don't know. It's been about a few weeks, but it's me, Minatos Flash. I am back, and today we have Noxy. We have some things to talk about. I feel like Dokkan is very funny with how they're doing content recently, but we'll get into that. Of course, I am not alone here. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, the Masked Ningen and Vilified.
Yo,
Hello.
how's it going, everyone?
Slop one. Wait, did I say the Slop one podcast? Someone in chat said Slop one. That's crazy.
No, I don't think that's because you said it. I think that's just what they're calling it.
They're just calling it, bro, the Slop one super podcast.
I
Bro.
feel like I would have caught that
outrageous.
if you said it. You know, I like making fun of you, so I
You know,
probably
it
would have
is
caught that.
it is very funny. We still continue to get bosses that continue to super attack in that slot one spot, bro.
Yep.
Keeps happening. Keeps happening.
I love
Um,
The
ingenuity.
name of the
and-
podcast will be relevant forever.
it will literally always be relevant. Theoretically, it's the slot zero super now.
That is
by
true,
the
but-
community centers, but who cares? Who cares? Slot one. It's still in the first slot, right? Who cares? Anyways, before we head into our topics, I just want to let y'all know if you want to help support the podcast and you have any questions, comments, or shoutouts, all donations, super chats, and etc. will be read out as they come in. We really appreciate y'all for the support. But yeah, again, Dokkan has been a bit silly. I feel like people have been hopping on and off Dokkan this year. Like I see in the community in general, like just like a little segue talking to it, just the general topic of this. But I feel like people, aren't that excited for this kind of like Golden Week as well. And I think that plays into it with a lot of the decisions that seemingly have been made recently. How are you guys just feeling in general?
What about just the game in general?
Yeah, like have you still been like, just enjoying it normally? Because I see a lot of people have not really been enjoying it as much as like previous years.
Yeah. I have, but I can kind of, I don't know, maybe not as much. I think is probably a good way of looking at it, because there's been some stuff that I've really enjoyed, and I think when we look at this year in general and some of the complaints that people have had, with the year so far, I think one of the big things that most people can agree on for the most part is that the units have all been good. And I've had a lot of fun with like the different releases and stuff, but well, I say a lot of fun. The problem is the content, I think, at the moment. Obviously the big one, right? The elephant in the room, of course, is the time limited content, which people are understandably not a fan of. And I think that does have a major impact on overall enjoyment of the game, right? Because like I did a video today testing out, because I did my Beerus and God Goku videos, I used them separately and I used them as like the leaders of their teams, and then I put together like a Realm of Gods build with both of them on the team, just to sort of test out like, is this the best build for the Realm of Gods team? And I put the team together, and then I just kind of sat there for a few minutes and it was like, what event should I even do? Because I feel like in previous years, there's always been like, there's either one specific fight that's the hardest fight in the game, that's always like, that's the fight you go and test out new teams in, or there's like 2 or 3 fights that are kind of competing for that level of like, these are the best end game fights. And so then for us content creators, like one of the things that you can do is when you do that, where you test out a team, you make up a setup, and it's like, is this the best Realm of Gods team? You could do like a video where you take them against all 3 of those events that are considered the hardest events in the game. But like at the moment, I feel like we don't really have that kind of meta anymore. And like for me personally, I don't like the Bio Broly fight, and the idea of just that's the only like the fight that all we have to do now is just go back and test out new units that are coming out now against the Bio Broly fight that came out like who knows how long ago. Because some of the fun fights that we have gotten, like Jiren and like the the 3 great Super Saiyans thing with the, I think it was the Goku one, was kind of challenging. I don't know if that's more so just because the mission and like Vegeta family's not the best team, but like some of these fights that have come out and been considered like that sort of top tier of difficulty, then they go away and they're not available now. So yeah, it's like you get your Beerus and your God Goku, and it's like where do I go to like really test out the the Realm of Gods team? And it's like, oh well, I guess I just have to do Bio Broly again, which I don't really like. So yeah, it's kind of weird because I think all the units have been good for the most part, been fun. But then, yeah, it's like, what do you do with them is kind of the biggest issue, I think, at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think after the anniversary was a disappointment, and we talked about this obviously in the episodes around the time, I feel like Dokkan has been kind of on a bit more of an upswing with some of the stuff that's been coming out. But the content, and especially time limited content, I think is like the biggest issue for me anyway. So,
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that as well. I feel like it's like getting to the point where obviously everyone has an issue with it. I feel like sometimes it's not like as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, considering that I assume eventually it will be like resolved, right? So I guess that's why I'm like a little fine with it in my mind. But I think people are letting their frustration at that encroach over everything else the game is doing that I think is pretty good. Of course, it's not perfect, but I do think that people are really just overreacting a little bit when it comes to like the state of Dokkan and how good or bad it is. I mean, I know a lot of people, for example, really enjoyed the Cybermen team, for example. So that
Yeah.
was pretty fun. I don't know if you have any specific thoughts, Phil, but I've been like I haven't been like super in tune as I have in previous years, but I think mostly because I'm also busy with Genshin too, rather than Dokkan like being super boring to me or anything like that. I still have enjoyment with Dokkan and playing with the characters and trying things out. It's just that, me personally, we've been playing Bio Broly for 5 months at this point, and even though we've had these new fights, it's just so frustrating that they do end up leaving. And right now we're in a spot where it's like, okay, maybe we get new content in like a few days, but like it's maybe if this happens, that's what I hate about it. It's an if, not an and, not an is. If.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you guys covered it pretty well with the limited time event stuff. This kind of brought me up to a hot take that I covered recently. I think this would kind of be fun to discuss. That is very tied into what we're talking about. I don't find myself engaging with difficult content that much outside of like getting done what I need to get done. There's a multitude of reasons for that. I am not a showcaser. I am not a challenge runner, a no item runner on the platform that I post things on. A lot of times I feel like when I'm playing the game, I'm not even doing that stuff anymore. Where it's like I do it, I get it out of the way, and then I don't really think about it. And that's tying into this take here. I'm just going to read this out, and I'm not going to say who it's from. There's no reason to do that. This is word for word what the take was. Challenge content is overrated. It's bait for people who don't actually like the game. There's thousands of hours of other stuff. That's I think a bit aggressive, but of other stuff outside of the challenge tab. Dokkan is meant to be played passively. If you need constant difficult fights to stay engaged, you're playing the wrong game. End take.
Interesting.
I feel like the thing is that people are going to enjoy different aspects of the game, and
Sure.
a lot of people who have been playing the game for a long time are really only like they're kind of like looking good with the collection aspect and things like that, and they find enjoyment in the gameplay of Dokkan. Though at the same time, a lot of people are also just collectors, right? They just like, oh, I'm gonna just get my favorite characters and look at the cool card art, look at the animations, just kind of. I'm going in the
More on that later.
Legendary Goku event. Yeah, more on that later, right? But and I think that it's not black or white. Some people like one thing.
I
some
agree.
people like another thing. Some people like both. I don't think it's a specific statement of, oh, this sucks, or because some people do like things that other people may seem like it sucks, right? It just depends on your viewpoint of the game and how you would personally enjoy the game. So I think that the whole like saying that, if I'm not mistaken, the take was basically like, it kind of feels like they're calling them like, you're fake, you're like a Dokkan LARPer if you enjoy difficult content.
I think it was aggressive wording for just saying like, I kind of see the sense of like most of my time spent on the game is link leveling and Whis event farming. That isn't to say that it's content, but that's to say that's what I'm spending a lot of my time doing. And let me kind of like get on that a lot. I think that a lot of players, especially on the social media thing, I think they like to live vicariously through creators that have 100% units and what they're saying about the characters, as well as do the play on applications that violate the terms of service. And they only like on the terms of on that specific thing, you don't have to worry about the Whis event. You don't have to link level your characters. You don't actually have to get the characters. So all there is to do is talk about the difficult content, because on those terms of service violation applications, that's all there is to do. It's like, okay, I'm going in with all of my characters, 100% perfect god orbs that I didn't have to grind to get. And it creates all of these issues where there's just like, you're not really experiencing the game because you didn't have to grind for those equips. I get super excited if I get a really good silver god equip, because those are hard to get.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of tough. I think that people put too much investment into difficult content. I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't matter, but I also think that in a year like this, where they've clearly taken a controversial experiment on it, that's what they tried to do, and it's not working. I just feel like it's like we're just going to do this song and dance until it's over. Like, I feel like we all kind of universally agree, yeah, this sucks. And I think we've all voiced our feedback pretty well about it.
I think it gets to a point where, like, obviously some people may feel like others are harping on it too much, but also I think that
just have to keep saying it, right?
These dads would prefer you do that. I mean, like, okay, this is me taking another example from Genshin, funny enough.
Sure.
But there's this thing in the game. There's this kind of like, it's called a divine draw, where it's like random rules tied to each game. And there's this one rule where it's like basically a hammer, and basically like the bosses in this game, not really, it's like not a direct equivalent, but you could basically destroy an objective in the game in like the first minute of the game, just instantly, when that's not supposed to happen. Like, that's supposed to be something that happens like a few minutes into the game, but you could just abuse it and win games like in half the time or even less than what a game should be run in. Not skillful at all. It just literally smashing a button and picking a certain character. So that, it's like, okay, obviously everyone knows that sucks. Everyone's been complaining about it. Everyone knows, it's really bad. And, it's not something that happens every time. It's not something that, a lot of people might not even care about the PvP aspect. Some people play just against CPUs in the game. But it's a thing where Toshi said himself, I want you guys to keep giving this feedback. I want you guys to keep not like abusing it, but like showing what it is. So in the game data, we're able to see, oh, you don't like this. And then they could use that, probably talk to Big Bad Guy or whoever makes the real decisions. And that's why. So if you see a lot of people harping on it, I feel like it's probably better for the game, because a lot of these people are also very, how to explain it? They're very passionate about to continue to hop on it. And I'm someone who brings it up a lot too. Go on.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a sense of, you almost have to continue, like, as tiring as it is and as sick of I am of talking about, I feel like we talk about limited events every episode, and like, I'm just kind of sick of talking about it, but it's also like a necessary thing that has to happen, because if compliance is the worst thing that can happen, because like the beauty of it is, because people want to say like, oh, I'm concerned for the game's going to die and all of these different things, right? But the fact that so many people are worried about it shows how many people care.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that can happen is people don't care. And compliance, right? The thing with Dragon Ball is Akatsuki does not monopolize it. It's not the only group of developers that is making the Dragon Ball product where they can do whatever they want. People can go to Dragon Ball Legends. People can go to Gekishin Squadron. People can play Fighters. They can play Xenoverse. There's all these different games that they can play. So feedback, which they've been receptive of, I think they've done a pretty good job with that this year, to a sense, where limited time events was an idea that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a predatory intention. We talked about this a couple months ago, but there's like a theory that they tried to combat botting with this, but like, elephant in the room, easy A's are where the bots are useful.
I would also say not even necessarily just for botting, but there's the idea that they don't want such a large amount of permanent
stones available.
That's the main thing.
But again,
someone new hops into the game and it's like they're very not incentivized to spend a lot of money.
Mhm.
for a while because they have so much of the game. They have 10 years worth of content to farm.
Mhm.
But also it's like, okay, you're like prioritizing the new. I think a lot of these updates have felt like they've been prioritizing new players. I mean, not even just
They
for
have to do that.
Dokkan, they've
Mhm.
done it for Legends. I feel like as well, and also for
Yeah.
Squadra, where it's like they are prioritizing like just getting as many players on the game as possible, or like
Which is what
what
you
the
want,
new
by the way.
player. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's also like what the new player base would view
Mhm.
rather than also considering a little bit more of the existing player base there, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there's also stuff that for existing players that has been very helpful. I know that the global controversy with this, but the batch cell, such a good addition. And then on
Yeah,
top of that,
I'm gonna
like
use that right now.
something that we definitely didn't talk about, like, or that I kind of noticed on my own, like I didn't even know if this was like covered or not, but like being able to so Ninga, you probably know this, maybe you don't. When you do a multi now with coins, you can just exchange from the multi screen.
Oh, can you? I actually didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you press that purple button, you can just
Oh
exchange
yeah,
the card for the unit for coins right there.
straight up,
Okay.
So that it's again quality of life
pretty raw.
changes. They've clearly done that over the years. The auto mode, like we all remember 23.8 link leveling. It used to take days to link level a character manually, by the way. Like, you
Yep.
know what I mean? Tapping the screen and doing all that. So feedback, changing the schedule because it's confused Japanese players, I think is what they said.
Well, they say players, but like I feel like we assume it's a JP player base because
Yeah.
of the fact that that's the same, like as a very similar schedule to
It's
global.
the
but
easiest. It's the easiest access they have to feedback. I would say,
that too.
yeah,
Like the
where
JP
like
player
global
base.
surveys and app stores and things like that, it's going to take a little bit, and it's so they've added all these things to make the game easier for us. But it's like you take one step forward and then we take two steps back, where very much the vocal minority is concerned with difficult fights, and the vocal minority matters because again, it's their own form of marketing in a way, where content creators gassing up characters and making all these crazy videos and saying like, oh, look what we can do with this, look how great the game is these last few months, right? Like that helps. It's not just like an invisible thing, and we've seen
Yeah.
that in the past where at the fan meetup, Truth got pulled aside and had to sit down with the producers, so
True.
there's clearly a level to the feedback, and I mean, we're talking about it. We are part of us, like we all do
We are
content
Dokkan.
for this game, right? Exactly. We are
Mhm.
Dokkan, so
True.
it's very much like I'm kind of talking in circles a little bit, but the idea that what I'm trying to get to is like they've been making changes based on feedback, and it's very clear that I think that this feedback, I've said, as long as we just stay receptive about it and don't let this idea that we don't like limited time events die, like surely whenever this scheduled run of it is done, like we should be done, like it should be over with, hopefully. Like if we go into the 12th anniversary and we're still doing this limited time red zone stuff, like, okay, then it's like, all right, this is just the new standard and it sucks. And we're just going to have to keep complaining about it. But I don't see a world where this is just like the new standard. I feel like people have made it very clear that this is not what we
and
want.
obviously, we got to keep in mind that these changes like are planned so long in advance, or like these
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm saying.
celebrations things. So it's probably not easy to get like an instant change for something like this. But yeah, no, I think I'm hopeful for the future still, and I think that we could see some really good stuff happening still. So that's gonna be awesome.
It
Yeah,
probably
it's-
would be like entire. I'll limit it to this other thing, and the entire reallocation of the stone budget that they give out would probably be changed if they kept the red zones and stuff permanent. So it's just like a whole rework of the year based on this
Yeah.
idea that they tried, and that's where it's like. That's why we got to just say like keep giving the feedback, because when it's time for the change to happen, they'll have that feedback to work off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
But that being said, as someone who's discussing Dokkan with friends here, like it does get a bit tiresome. It's like, yeah, limited time events suck.
Yep.
We all kind of get it at this point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. We don't know like how
It's like when someone repeats a bad joke.
Yeah. It's like we don't know how long it's gonna go for, based on the fact that it happened for the first time, I guess, with the anniversary, right? With some of those anniversary events leaving, and then the post-anniversary survey had the question about what people thought about the limited content. So they've already received some feedback about it, but I guess the thing that we don't know in terms of how all of it works behind the scenes is how much they sort of plan in advance for all of this stuff and how easy it is or isn't to then just pull the plug. Because if it is something to do with whether it's for the permanent stones or not, but like how they factor in the stone budget for celebrations and things like that, then it's not necessarily just as easy as, oh, okay, well, we'll just take off the like expiry thing and it actually just doesn't go away. We don't know how much that would impact like what they're trying to do. I can't imagine it would be that much, but we just don't really know. And the thing is, I did see an interesting post when people were discussing it on Twitter, I think the other day, is the fact that one thing that if it was something to do with like stones being available permanently or something like that, one thing that I probably wouldn't have anywhere near as much of an issue, it still wouldn't be ideal for the people that do have to miss out, but obviously there'll always be a sort of FOMO aspect for a gacha game because they want you to summon for the new characters and stuff like that. But one of the posts that I saw, which kind of makes sense, is like just have the missions be time limited. So after that certain amount of time, like the missions go away, but the event is still there. So then if the issue is that they don't want too many stones to be available permanently, so when new players start, there's these like thousands and thousands of stones available to them, just have the missions be the thing that goes away after a certain amount of time, but the event is still there. So you can't get any stones out of there, but you
what we
could
have
go,
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I still would rather that not be the case, but yeah, like it would be one of those things where at least now if I felt like it, I could go back and do like the Goku fight or the Jiren fight, or like even the fight from even stage 1 from that Super Saiyan's Blue Zone thing with the Goten, Gohan.
Dude,
and
I
Trunks.
miss the Jiren fight so much, bro. I miss that Jiren
You and
fight.
I are like just on complete opposite
Yeah,
sides of that spectrum.
I can't say I miss it, but
miss the Jiren
I think-
fight, bro.
I wouldn't say I miss it, but the problem is because it was quite hard, I didn't really do many runs of it. Like I had a few attempts and then I managed to get it done. And then because of other stuff that I was doing, I think I maybe had like one more attempt on stream. Or I think there was like 2 early morning streams that I did where I did a couple of runs with a different team to see if we could do like a no items run or something. And then literally I streamed like the next day or like 2 days later. And it was like, oh, it's gone now. And I'd only really played it like a handful of times. So I can't even really say whether I really enjoyed it that much or how much I miss it, because I barely got a chance to actually even play it. I managed to do all the missions and everything, but like it would be nice to be like, oh, let's take this new Realm of Gods team into that Jiren event and like see how it goes, even if there's no missions or anything. Well, yeah, it's you gotta be very careful because of the dodge disabling, but yeah, like certain version of it can work. I think I remember when I did it, it's like you use the UI Goku and Blue Evolution, but you use Blue Evolution for like the first few turns, and then once he switches to the second phase and you can dodge again, you switch back to UI. But either way,
with like a Beerus team, you should be able to like be able to beat it, right?
Well, that's the thing.
I was talking about at the time.
This is the thing, is like who knows, right? And it would be fun. This is kind of the point that we're making, right? Is it would be fun to go and test that out. Because we can't. I mean, you can on the private server, so that is a thing that is gonna. Yeah, exactly.
Could do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it right now.
I could literally go into the Jiren fight now.
#LD player.
But
not sponsored.
Yeah, like that's kind of the point that I'm making. Is like in the actual game, like it would be fun to just be like, yeah, even if I didn't think Jiren was a great fight overall or anything like that, regardless of what you might think of it, like for everyone who's listening and stuff, just the fact that you could do it if you wanted to is kind of the point. But obviously we just don't have that option because the event is gone now. And that's what I'm saying, like even that stage 1, the Goten, Gohan and Trunks, like it wasn't particularly hard, but I feel like it was kind of cool for testing out teams and seeing how they could like build up a little bit, because the second phase had that interesting thing where they each had to get hit 3 times before they lost their like massive damage reduction. So if you wanted to test out like building up a unit, you could like spread the attacks out on purpose so you didn't do loads of damage in like the first 2 turns. And then, yeah, you could just do some funny stuff. Like, it's not a super crazy event or anything, but it was just kind of like you could do some funny stuff in it. And now it's gone. So you just can't do that now. So
now that I'm thinking about it, bro, Ijo Godku would be really good in the Jiren fight because he has the damage reduction in turn 1. So you just like
He doesn't get hurt by the AoE. Normals don't hurt him. He has the free revive. Whenever you need a free revive, you just revive, and then by the time you get to the injured phase, he has a guaranteed dodge.
Yep.
I got in trouble for saying the two no words in the Dokkan Discord. I didn't know it was no words, but private
But
server,
with-
you're not allowed to say that over there.
You're
Really?
not allowed to say it. What?
Yeah, I said
Okay.
so.
Oh,
there
well,
were-
like in the official one.
yeah. You're not allowed
That's
to-
quite funny.
That's
There's
actually
in the
funny.
rules, you can't mention things that break the terms of service.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
I got pinged about like when banners like as like a joke, and so like there, and then the conversation was like, what are red flags in Dokkan players? And I was like, if they play the private server, and I got they deleted the message and I got like muted or something. I don't remember.
That's
It's like, oops.
crazy. They said they could. They said
Yeah, they
you're not,
did.
you're not Hollywood.
They had like a 10-minute slow mode over. Yeah, I'm not Hollywood. Nobody knew me over there. But what's
Bro,
it
I got,
called?
like, a billion friend requests.
It was like the slow mode in there was like 10 minutes. It's like you can't converse
Yeah,
with
that's
people with
crazy.
that.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
I mean, I think by now it's probably calmed down. No.
I think it's 1 minute when I was pinged in there, like a minute between messages, which is fine. I mean, I don't know. It's a very like Legends. We saw what happened when they didn't think about it.
Mhm.
It was like, yeah, this isn't good. They got to fix this.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, one thing I wanted to add as well, going back to because we sort of veered a little bit off. It was in the same vein, so it was a logical pathway. But just going back to that take that Phil mentioned, just to chime in on that a
Yeah.
little bit, is I do find that quite interesting because, like, I know some people see the game as like a collection type thing, and obviously, as Minato said as well, like, everybody is on kind of a different scale,
post
like
it.
of how you enjoyed playing the game and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for me, like, obviously it's different because I have done challenge runs as like a big part of my channel and stuff like that. But just in general, that's like how I like to play the game. I mean, that's the reason why I started doing that stuff as content, because it was what I liked to do in the game itself. Because for me, like, I've never been a huge fan of just collecting something like for the sake of it. So like, even when I used to play Magic and like buy loads of cards and all this kind of stuff, like, I bought them to play with them. So that's the thing. Like, I like having all the new units and having like the good teams and stuff because I want to use them in events. And I know, like you're saying, it's probably a bit hyperbolic to say there's like thousands of hours of stuff outside the challenge tab. It's like, well, not really, because all of that stuff is like Dokkan events, which you just play to awaken your character. And then once you've awakened the character, you never play them again, unless it's for like burst mode or something. I can't imagine anyone plays Dokkan events like for fun. So for me, like, apart from, like Vil said, like, apart from link leveling, so apart from doing some quest stuff or like the Whis event or the daily Turtle School thing, like a couple of things in the bonus tab, like the only thing I do is stuff in the challenge tab, because that's, you know, that's where all the content that's actually sort of like fun to play, because everything else is too easy. So it's like, I don't see the point of collecting all of these characters and stuff if you're not like then using them.
And
So,
can I
certainly
offer the counter perspective to that?
interesting one. Yeah, go for it.
If you didn't stream multiple times a week, would you be living in the challenge tab?
Yeah, I think so, because this is what I mean, like, not as much. And to be fair, I don't do as much because no item runs are not really a thing anymore. Like, no one
Yeah.
really cares. But like, that is what, like, that's the thing, is I guess that's what I was doing before I started making content. Is like, yeah, I'd get the teams and I'd get the new units, but then the fun thing for me was playing the hard events and then setting those kind of challenges for myself, like doing no item runs and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I then got into, oh, well, you know, let's do that kind of stuff like as videos, because that's how I enjoy playing the game. And that's the thing, is we've talked about it in the past, like, you know, for us as content creators, a lot of the time I spend playing the game is for making content. But that is the thing. If there's ever a time, like, especially when new units have come out, like if a new unit comes out, I pull the unit, I do my 55% showcase, I maybe do some other video, maybe showcasing them on a different team or something. But then when I sit down in the evening and I'm by myself and I'm still, you know, kind of hyped about this new character that's come out, if it's a character that I particularly like, that's what I then do for fun. It's like, well, let me try them out on this team, but it has to be in an event that's actually hard, because it's like, there's no point me throwing, you know, like ultra super villain Vegeta on a Vegeta family team and then doing like a couple of Dokkan events, because that doesn't tell me like whether that team is good or not, because any team can beat those events. So yeah, whilst I do focus on it a lot, or did in the past a lot more so for content, like, yeah, that's the stuff that I find the most fun to do, is actual difficult content. And maybe some of that comes from like being a Souls enjoyer and stuff like that. Like I like challenging stuff.
That's
like
fair.
I find that fun. But again, as Minato said, and as we have touched on, like, everybody plays it differently. Some people literally play it as a collection game. Some people summon for like the animations and don't even care like if the unit is actually good in the game or not. And so yeah, there is like obviously something for everyone. But yeah, it's definitely not a take that I resonate with very much. But
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to offer it. I
yeah,
thought
no,
it
it's
would be kind of
definitely interesting. Like, I can see that there is the other side of it as well. So
yeah. I think that there is like, the hyperfixation on difficult content at times can be aggressive.
yeah, that's I
I think
definitely
when the
don't
game does
agree
offer more than hard fights I
with
think
that
there is
kind of
more
stuff.
to it
Like
than
when
just that.
people put together what they think is like a cool little fun, like quirky team or something, and you beat a difficult event, but maybe you had to use like a Whis or something, and then you get those replies that are like, well, you used a Whis, so it doesn't count. And it's like, that kind of stuff's stupid. But yeah, like, just
But
have
that
fun.
culture exists. Yeah, I mean that exists across games, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like people hyperanalyze what you're doing in your Souls run.
Well,
It's
I
like,
was just
okay,
gonna say,
you-
like, I love the Souls
yeah.
games, but like, even though I've replayed them all multiple times, there's probably at least one boss in every single game that I always summon like phantoms and stuff to help me fight. Like,
Mhm.
and some people are like, "Oh no, you can't use summon." Like, yeah, so it is like that in all aspects of gaming. I guess that is very true.
A lot of these things are just not exclusive to Dokkan. Like I think a lot of people would like to assume.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Jiren,
you
I miss you.
you gotta stop with this Jiren thing.
Oh,
I love Jiren as much as the next guy, but not that fight.
I need to
bro,
make
it's
a
my goat.
I need to get the thing up here. I'll do it quietly in the background and then tweet it. But I need
I
to
meant
get
to
that
say this
Wolverine
earlier,
with the photo meme and make it Minato and the Jiren event.
I miss the feeling, the sort of feeling that we got of Red Zone Broly ish, like that Jiren got brought about, where it's like, oh my god, this fight. This is a bad take, and I know it's going to be a bad take, and it's fine.
Go for it.
I think that this Jiren fight, low key, could have been a little bit more special if it had limited attempts.
Ooh, that
I
is
think
spicy.
as it was
No-
perfect.
No item runs in the first 2 hours are lame.
Well, I mean,
I want there to be like a mythical, like a.
well, I don't think it
mythical sense to a
mattered because
fight.
Truth got the no item running like his. I think it was his first attempt.
Okay, well, Truth
was it
and
really first?
Joe Schmo on
That's
Twitter
crazy.
doing it, like there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who cares about
Like
Joe
had to
Schmo?
like.
Kidding.
I love Joe Schmo, but all 55% no item run like the first hour and a half. That's lame.
Yeah, there's
I want I want like the
Would that
fight to
happen?
feel. I don't know. I'm just
probably
I'm
not
being-
for
I'm-
Yeah,
Jiren.
bro.
I don't know about.
Bro, what do you mean you don't know? You're the one saying it.
I'm saying from a sense of if a no item run happens very quickly, which it did, and like people were able to formulate like all of these different strategies on the first day, it took some of the novelty away from the fight.
Yeah, no, I
I guess so.
agree with that.
You just like the red zone Broly feeling, huh?
That's what I'm trying
Valid.
to talk about. Where it's like a lot of people, the Red Zone Broly no item took months to get.
Yeah.
I think it was
And
like 2
obviously
weeks.
with-
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, for
Some-
a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, because there was just like you only had 3 attempts per day. I think like I
Dude,
I
that'd be
said that
awesome.
was I said I'm like, listen, I know this isn't a good take, but I think that there's something here where
You
I think, yeah. I can't say I know because it's an
a
opinion.
thinker.
The thinker, exactly. If I just the magic of Red Zone Broly for me has not been recreated since Red Zone Broly.
Yeah. I agree that
And-
it's like
Well, I mean, were you on global at that time? You're on JP. You're
I
on
was JP. I've been JP since I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
doing content.
How could I forget, man? I'm so sorry.
Of course, yeah.
I just called you like a fraud and an idiot. You should like kill me, man.
Oh, there's a lot of times where I kind of like goof, so it's okay.
Valid.
I made a big oopsie when the banner assets were revealed. Like I had to rush to do the Shuji summon, and I
Mhm.
was like, what's it called? I said like, I'm like maybe there would be a banner unit, but I guess the banner unit would have showed up on the assets.
Yeah. The
And I was
Dokkan
like,
assets.
who?
Oh, that
Oh, new rose alternate art.
Oh, dude, well, we're going to talk about those fairly soon, I'm sure. But
That was so funny.
So, chat, if you guys didn't see, Dokkan Assets posted, because they were talking about the new alternate arts in the stream, and Dokkan Assets posted, there's new alternate arts. Looks like there's this new rose alternate art, but it was like the clones alternate art that we had from last year. So, like, a lot of people just started calling him LARPer.
As if maybe were you not the first to call him that?
Yep, LARP. That's me.
That word has certainly lost a lot of meaning.
Dude, I don't care. The word LARP.
You can't casually enjoy something without being called a LARPer.
Bro, I literally
So
brought
funny.
up LARP earlier already too. Like in this stream, I think. Like,
Mhm.
I believe it.
LARP.
In a friend group I have, we had to make an initiative. We have to stop talking about LARPing, and we have to stop calling everything slop.
Slop. Dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
calling
those
everything
two. I
slop
keep
is
seeing.
so
Yeah,
slop,
I've seen multiple tweets now
joyful,
of
you
people
know?
complaining about those two words being so massively overused at the moment.
Bro, can we stop getting saying slop? I need my Dokkan Festian.
There you go. I posted the link in the chat, but I'll post it in our chat. Oh, hang on. I meant to post the actual picture, but there's the link.
Yeah.
There you go. I just very quickly made that.
Yeah,
I
Graves
missed
Tour's
the
like,
journey, bro.
what a different, like, I think what was cool about that event too was just how different the two stages were. Where the first one was like this forced marathon, where it's like, oh my God, you got to play 30 minutes to get to Omega. And then with the Jiren fight, they're like, oh yeah, if you just want to go fight Jiren, here you go.
Yeah, just go straight to Jiren. That, like, I appreciated that, although I kind of wish it was not all the way at the other end of the map, because that was super annoying. And on at least one,
that was very
at least
Soul's
one
game.
occasion, I managed to fat
Soul's
farm
game,
and
it's so
accidentally go right into one of the other fights instead when I didn't mean
I never
to.
did that. I don't think I ever did that, but
I would have locked in, bro.
How many Souls game mentioned like FromSoft should be paying us, but where it's like it was literally the walk of shame.
Yeah,
Like it was
it's like having to go back to the boss again. Yeah.
Yeah, someone in chat said, let's stop getting LR slop and go back to TURs.
Yeah, that's like like I feel like that discussion is just becoming more and more prominent, and God Goku didn't do the TUR crowd any favors.
It's true. Well,
It's
what do you mean? Wait,
just
what?
not in terms of quality, in terms of the visuals.
Oh, visuals? Yeah. I was going to say, like,
Where it's like, oh, if the devs don't care about TURs, why should we?
Yeah, true.
LR slop.
It's funny how many
slop,
like LRs, like how many sort of slots have been replaced with LRs now.
Some
Obviously,
sort
we
of
talked
slops?
about Saiyan Day
I think-
back when it happened,
yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
certainly interesting.
You know, I
Saiyan
think,
Day is giving us that little global player feeling where it's like, oh, major celebration 2 weeks later, here's another LR.
I
Yeah,
actually saw a tweet someone made where it's like the God Goku views on his animations on Truth's channel versus the Majin Vegeta Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And Majin Vegeta Super Saiyan 2 Goku is like about 180k, and the God Goku's at like 95k or so. And it is interesting to see that.
There's just nothing must see about those characters, you know? The timing slot is weird. The animation's like, I guess this is just like, is this our transition to God Goku? Like, do we just want to talk
I
about him
think
now?
so. We could just start talking about God Goku now, like the actual.
Yeah, why not?
So, yeah. I mean, we can just continue. You were making a point, so go ahead.
Was I? Oh yeah, no. I was just saying, like, you know, I just feel like this choice in general, people weren't really excited for. Like, people are not like going crazy over the God Goku versus Beerus right now, especially because it's like, okay, we're getting like the very like we're getting like the leftovers of Battle of Gods, just like squished into a card. You know, animations wise, that's kind of what it is. Like, especially since they did that EGO Beerus for the 10th anniversary. And he has like pretty decent animations as well, with like the chopsticks and everything, and like his like the aura was really cool. And it's like now I'm just like, how do I explain it? I feel like they just did a bad choice just doing Battle of Gods now. I really am not sure what the reason behind them deciding to do Battle of Gods here was.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really a good reason for it. Like, I think there's many other celebrations with like tons of EZAs available that could have made people a lot very happy, but yeah.
I think the timing was something that was just like, because so when I did a community reaction video to it, it got to the point where it's like, if a user's input said like timing on it, I would just skip over it because I'm like, you guys get it.
Yeah.
valid.
everybody, because it's just, I mean, like, there's an elephant in the room. It's like, hey guys, there's this remake that they're doing, and
You might
it's
really
kind of
like watching.
focused on, yeah, it's focused on this exact moment here, this fight. I know this is from the movies, but same idea. It's got Goku versus Beerus.
Yeah.
So now you're almost guaranteeing that like a synchronized release here is probably not happening. I can't imagine we get another God Goku versus Beerus this year. That would be quite bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Has the game ever done that? Like ever?
I'm not sure.
It's like
No,
this
not really.
gone
Yeah,
to the same
it's-
fight in the same
Well,
year,
Well,
not loosely.
Okay, to be fair, we had physical VB and EJ Rose in November of
Mhm.
2016, and then in December of 2017, we got Tech VB and SJ Rose.
So over a year.
That's I was gonna
So
say that's
it was
still
already
over a year.
It's not
Yeah.
within the same year, but it's in a year time frame
Okay.
ish.
I mean,
That's
I
like
guess
the
that's-
closest example.
Yeah. So
Like I'm not saying
Exactly,
it's
so-
what you're asking for, but it's the closest
Mhm.
example. So
So
I'm
you're
agreeing.
saying like the sample size there was 13 months, right? Unless I misheard you.
yeah.
So the idea that they're going to do a God Goku and Beerus within the next 7 to 8 months
yeah.
doesn't sound very realistic to me. I think what I said personally is I think their celebration of it is going to be very similar to Daima, where we get a God Goku or like a Battle of Gods formatted story event that just gets updated stages. And then after a while, like maybe there's a free to play character, like pick and choose your Z fighter from Battle of Gods. Like if you want like a TN or a Goten and Trunks that fuse or something, and like a Gotenks or an Ultimate Gohan or a Fat Boo, whoever you want, put them in there. That would probably be what I would say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because I just think the synchronized release is just not really what they do anymore. Like not that I was around for this really, but like take me back to the days of Int UI or AGL Gogeta Blue.
Yeah, exactly. It just feels weird, yeah, because they never do those sort of like close releases anymore. So, especially with what happened with Daima
I mean,
and
we
like,
know
Beast
it's just harder
Gohan,
for them
it just-
to do it too, because
Yeah,
they have to like do these animations and everything.
It
And make them
also-
LRs. I think that's what makes it tricky.
It also
Where they get, like,
brings
5
back
in.
up that discussion that we had with like Heroes with the final celebration and stuff, where it's like, how
Mhm.
much do they know ahead of time? Because like
That's fair.
we know they plan units quite far ahead. So it's like, was this Goku and Beerus already planned for this time slot before we even knew about the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remaster, and then it's too late for them to
Yeah.
change it, or too late for them to move it around, or like, yeah,
That's
it's hard to
possible,
know,
too.
like, yeah, how that kind of thing works behind the scenes. Because, yeah, I think I think it's fair to say that the general consensus is that people were very surprised. I think if you polled like
Mhm.
everyone, it's very unlikely that you'd have gotten a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, I think." Well, obviously, it turned out to not really be Golden Week, but yeah, if we'd polled people like ahead of time, like I don't think many people would have said, "I think Golden Week is going to be Beerus versus God Goku," after we found out about the remaster. So it's definitely an interesting choice, but again, we don't really know. We don't really know what the thing is like behind the scenes for how these things get planned. And then, like we said with Heroes, like they might find out, oh, so now we've just found out that this Beerus thing is happening and it's coming out towards the end of the year. We've already got a God Goku and Beerus in the works that we were going to release like Q2 of 2026. Like, what do we do now? Because they can't scrap them all completely. And then if they pushed them back to when the anime comes out, people would complain that the units weren't based off of the new animations and stuff. So they kind of, I don't know, potentially got stuck in a really awkward situation with how to deal with these units if they had them already planned. So I don't know.
You want me to shorten that for you, Ningen? They can't win.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They adapt the source material. People didn't like it. Daima Super Saiyan 4. I know they could have done better with the animation of that character. Don't get me wrong, but there was very clear intention to adapt the source material. They just didn't choose the right moments. I don't think. But that also kind of leads. I think that's a really good point where it's like they already had that scheduled out. But then it's also the sense of they want to, obviously, because of the scale of the game and the way things work these days, is make these like these new characters LRs. And LRs just like they have to take more time. Like there's no way that they're working on TURs and LRs the same amount.
Yeah.
Based on the amount of animations, you need an 18 key, you need a 12 key. In the new cases, you need an EX with a voice line. You need an intro. You may need a revival. You may need an exchange. So TURs get that too, obviously, but
Yeah.
like LRs is just it's the extra super attack that's really that kind of throws it in there. And have we gotten like real traditional exchange TURs, like a lot of them? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Nappa and Vegeta,
For exchange
Gohan
Wars,
and Gamma 1, Piccolo and Gamma 2,
there's the free to play Trunks.
free to play
and
Trunks,
Goku,
yeah.
the one that came out with them.
But yeah, other than
And
that, they've not really done the TURs yet. They've sort of started branching into that more now. But
Yeah, and obviously LRs, they've been rocking with that since the beginning of 10th.
yeah.
For better or for worse, in the case of the Blue Boys, thank God they were good, really good. It's interesting for
Vegito.
sure. Yeah, when is the standalone Vegito is going to be fun whenever we get it.
Monday.
The problem with Vegito is just like that doesn't work because Gogeta 4 is time limited.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, are they trying to keep the unit immersive? You know what I mean? Where it's like the fusions goes away, so you should only be temporary. Like all the fusions go away, guys.
True. But yeah, so I guess we talked about the timing a little bit, but do you want to talk about the actual units a bit more? I don't know how your how did your guys' summons go? Did you summon for these guys?
I did 2
JP,
multis.
Want global, ba boom.
Okay.
True. I don't know. Like,
It's just global. I got them both in like 150, and then JP, I don't have any of them yet, but
Okay.
I've only done like 3 multis, so I can't complain.
not gonna get them, bro.
Worst shaft ever. I did a rotation and didn't get them. I'll post that.
Damn, that sucks.
Damn. Yeah, I went
And then complained about the people that do the SpongeBob in the window thing. They're like, look, I pulled them.
Yeah, I went
Happens all
all
the
in
time.
for Ultra Super Villain Vegeta, so I didn't have really any stones. I did the 7 free tickets and 150 stones on God Goku's banner, because that was all I had. Didn't get anything. I think I got 1 featured unit from my 3+1 rotation, and it was the ROF Blues. But then today, because that left me with like 20 odd stones, so then I did all the rest of the missions and the content and stuff, and then today we got the Goku Day login stones, so we got another like was it like 13, and then plus the daily missions and stuff, so I got back up to 50 stones. So I figured for the sake of the summoning points and all that other stuff, I might as well start doing a rotation on the Beerus banner. And so yeah, I managed to get Beerus on the first multi on his banner, so that was pretty cool. So I've got him at 55%. Just got to link level him. But yeah, I probably will just finish off that rotation with the rest of the stones we get in this celebration. Because then that gives me enough summon points to get another one of the tickets. And then after that, I probably just won't bother. Because based on what we know from last year with the timings, because obviously the Tanabata and like the GDC are switching around this year. And the Golden Week units came back on the Tanabata time slot last year, which is where the Global Dokkan campaign is going to be this year. So that's kind of like for people who are sort of on the fence about summoning for these guys, like they're going to return in what is basically the next big celebration you should really be saving your stones for. So them being back on the GDC banners would be a massive W, because those will be the banners that people will probably be going in for anyway. So
yeah, anniversary LRs rerunning and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. So I'm pretty happy to get a copy of Beerus, because then at least when the EZAs come out, because I feel like when the EZA and the Super EZA come out, like if you don't have Beerus, like they'll probably still be good on a Realm of Gods team, but they do really want to be run with that Beerus. So I'm pretty happy to get a copy of him.
Well, you're bringing up summons. How about the banners? Ugh.
Oof, yeah. Yikes.
In my predictions, I did not have STR Kid Buu and Physical 3Ku on the banner. I will say.
Yeah,
I was
that's,
like, maybe they do a previous year's Golden Week. Maybe they do this. Like, you know, obviously because I'm the greatest, I got a couple of them right. But no, it was like I was like, yeah, the hot take: Kaioken, Blue Goku, and Hit were going to be on the banners. But,
yeah, that was like the one we knew for sure, and I think we kind of knew that the Gohan and Piccolo
the New Year's
and then,
characters,
Gammas would come back. Yeah,
they are a nice little prize. I'm trying to get on the guy. Like I'm summoning on the God Goku banner because I want God Goku, but I would really like a copy of that Gamma too, because I don't want to coin a TUR.
Yeah, same. I got Gohan, but not Gamma 2, and I would really quite like to get him, but I don't. I'm in the same boat. I've only got like 500 odd red coins, and I don't want to spend 400 of them on
Yeah.
a TUR.
I rainbowed the Gohan with the summon points recently, and
Okay.
because my summons for him during New Year's were just stupid, I got like 4 in a rotation. So that Dokkan Fest ticket banner is such a troll for me. I've done twice in recent memory, and both times were dupes when I'm missing like 4 of the characters on there.
Oof.
It's so annoying. I think I got Tao on one of them.
What's
I was like, I
crazy
guess that's
is
okay. I didn't have Tao.
what's crazy is because they were obviously last year's Golden Week. It means Hit and the Blue Kaioken Goku are now over a year old, and I still haven't pulled either of them a single time.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
How did you do the Extreme Int mission? Did you use Goku and Frieza?
What for? Extreme-
Festival.
Oh,
done
I used Broly.
You did the Broly
Yeah.
strat, or
No, I just used I had a team that was like the Super Saiyan 4s and the Gods, like the original sort of festival team, but I used Tech Saiyan Day Vegeta, Scout of Vegeta, and in Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So
I used Goku and Frieza for that. I remember that. And then that's the same thing, Scouter, Vegeta, and then
because I actually got lucky because we were joking about it when it happened, but like I actually had the in Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He was on my festival team for like the first clear that I actually got. And what's funny is like I actually won that run because of him, because it was in the annoying Daima stage against Goku and Glorio, and I popped his active skill, and obviously because there's a Goku enemy, I got that good RNG, and he just did like multiple supers and just absolutely destroyed Daima Goku because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta fumbled the countering the super. So I thought I was going to lose, and then Broly just went absolutely beast mode and destroyed Goku. It was great.
What a horrible that I think the festival, like just the Daima phase was just not, they were not thinking
Yeah, that stage
that
was
phase. It's
brutal.
like you let 2 enemies with 1 billion HP and we'll see if like, you don't get that extra turn. So it's like, well, it literally, like a lot of runs came down to if Gogeta doesn't counter the super, or if you don't get the Dokkan attack, you just lose.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, that was so annoying. Like you'd get the turn, you'd fuse into Gogeta and obviously get the Scouter, and then it'd be like, oh, neither of them are supering this turn. Well, I guess I lose.
Right.
Like-
Yeah, you action break the super or something. You got to think
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
Oh man, yeah. The super's like the first attack after you would have like in the slot where you'd have to put.
Just means you target somebody, the other guy, but it's
but-
like maybe Glorio's croaked already. It's like it's tough.
Yeah, it was not fun.
But thankfully, they haven't invested too much time into that event anymore.
Yeah,
Not every character is built for the festival, and they haven't.
I think I
dropped any
missed that
missions.
festival.
no,
Knock
don't say that.
on wood. Yeah, I'm knocking on wood as I say that. But
When's the new
if they
festival?
do- if they do, I was down for Carnival of Battles.
Dude, that was my idea. Carnival battles, bro.
Yeah,
it's
I saw
gonna
a lot of
happen one
people
day.
saying
I
that.
believe. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I think enough people hated festivals to where they might not be.
And they had that feedback already, where it's like they heard that's like, this. Listen, we like the game, but this, I don't know.
To be fair, JP players really liked festivals, so who knows?
They also like World Tournament, so it may just be.
I mean, well,
It
have
may
we
just
seen
be-
World
it's a-
Tournament change?
Well, they have done. I mean, you used to have to play to get to the 30 difficulty.
Well, yeah, but that's like
They changed that.
That's not like changing the entire game mode or removing it.
That was a
It's
big
like how
change, though.
remember they literally
I've-
removed chain battle.
Yeah. My thing I've always complained about. I think if they just let us auto the board, I think that would be enough for me.
Mm.
True.
I don't need a lot, but I think that's like what I want.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me what I want, and that's it's just because it's just like that board is so brutal. Or just like get rid of the prelims. It's just
Yeah.
I could. There's so many things that they could just fix, and it would be like done. Makes me mad.
Bro's mad.
Well, because it's just like I like playing Dokkan, and then when you take that away from me, or like you make this mode so unbearable, even if it is for like 2 hours, because I listen, I don't grind a lot.
Yeah.
Like I am
I didn't have
23
time to
million.
do the
I'm
last World
out of
Tournament,
there.
Fortunately,
You were at the at a
At
convention,
our-
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like okay. Well,
Did
can
you
I
have
do World Tournament?
Did you have fun at Battle Hour?
Yeah, it was awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
wait,
see.
I never told the story about Matu and Takuba, huh? Like,
yeah.
it's not here.
That was a very funny picture. Like
Yeah, that was
I always
great.
hate that. Like
It was.
I hate living on the
amazing.
East Coast because like it's just such a long flight from Japan. They're not going to come over here.
Mhm.
And like if I want to go to a Dokkan event, I got to fly across the country.
Oh.
And
Just come next year, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to come over because it just looks like so much fun to be. It's like you say, like going to Taco Bell and Omatsu's there, dude. Like,
Bro, it was so funny.
Yeah, so-
Like
so-
it was like I just did like we literally it was just chance. You know, we were either
that's what
gonna
I'm
go
saying. Yeah.
we were either gonna go to Subway or Taco Bell,
Okay.
and we ended up going to Taco Bell. On our way back, you know who walked out of Subway?
Hey.
Geppy.
Toshi.
Ah.
That's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
so they were just in that area. They're like, all right, let me just. I wonder what
Yeah.
Toshi got. Now I'm curious.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was-
Did you ask what Omatsu ordered?
No, that's kind of weird.
Like, yeah, what'd
Like,
you get, bro? Because it's like maybe that's his
didn't-
first time trying Taco Bell.
No, because it was so funny because I walked in Taco Bell and well, firstly, Omatsu doesn't speak English. Like he would
That's
have he
fair.
had to use
That's
like a
fair.
translator. So when I walked in, I was like, oh, Omatsu, because I was just like shocked, and I was like, I audibly said, oh, Omatsu.
Did you look over?
He looked behind me and they all laughed. It was so funny. There was also the Sparking Zero producer, Jun Furutani,
Okay.
was also
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, they all laughed about it. And then we just ate our Taco Bell. I waited until he finished eating, and then I was like, can I get a picture basically? And we took that picture. Pretty funny.
Yeah, that's so funny that like it's just you like you said, just random chance. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very hilarious. And you know one thing, the Dokkan staff, they told me that they see my tweets on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they know about me. So like I think there's definitely a chance
as if you
that
needed more ego.
yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude. I have so much ego. I'm so I mean, look, is it ego if it's true? Okay, but like jokes
I
aside.
don't know. Yeah.
Jokes aside, I feel like it would be really funny if Amatu saw that photo. Was like, it's you. It's like remembers the Gogeta situation at that anniversary. Ooh. Well, okay. To be fair, that wasn't my fault.
No, they
But-
Gogeta and Omega was completely their fault. That's why
Okay.
they couldn't like Gogeta. Listen, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt where they're like, yeah, you guys shouldn't be doing this because it is in the like it's like illicit
Omega was
methods
silly.
is technically fair, but yeah, Omega, that's on you.
Like,
that's-
it's so funny.
Right. Like that was just straight up publicly available. Like we could just see it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, even the thing with the
And-
data download stuff is I heard like people arguing. I mean, I guess like it's not something that everyone can just do, like look into the files. But
Well, I
when they
mean-
say like illicit methods, at the end of the day, it's like you're downloading those game files onto your device. Like you have a right to go into those folders and see what those files are, even if it's not easy to do. Like you could argue that, like, yeah, you're downloading those files. You have a right to know what's in them. So
Technically, I think more people could do it than people think. Like it's
Mhm.
not even.
Well, just
that
people don't
difficult
care
to
enough.
understand.
You know.
It's like who cares?
yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like, oh, I'll just see an account on Twitter posted. I don't need to do this
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
Yeah.
If like someone else is already doing it, then like who cares? You know.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Eh,
But it's funny to
mean,
call
my
that
take on it
illicit
too.
methods when yeah.
You would know as the translator, or it's like, I guess I got to do it.
Mhm.
That would always make me mad when people were upset with your translations because Japanese is not easy to learn or read. I took 2 semesters
No,
of it.
dude, it's just like
Like,
it's crazy, and it's like I wasn't even like good at it, like at Japanese
no,
or
you're
anything
just
like
doing
that. Like,
a service for the community if Goresh was busy. And
yeah, it's more of a thing
yeah.
of it was like half Google Foo, half just like knowing what Dokkan's text is.
Yeah.
Really, and I don't know. Oh, like the thing is, like another thing is understanding how the game mechanics work and how it
Mhm.
actually should be translated. Because you could look at the exact text and then it's like, okay, this is what it means exactly, but I know how to word it properly and like what it actually means.
Yeah, like the way
'Cause I
Dokkan
played the
would word
game.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
It's
the
not
auto
even
translate
just, like-
stuff is terrible for like
Yeah,
when you look like if you go to Dokkan info and go like especially when JP has like their data downloads before global. So like you go to the JP like Dokkan info page, open up a character from like for example like when we got the crossover data download and we saw like the free to play Jiren. So like you go and look at his thing and it's like yeah, like because it's I mean I'll get it up here, right? So because it's directly translated from Japanese, it's like his super attack effect is for 1 turn, attack increases dramatically and you deal massive damage to your opponent. I was like, well, what does that mean?
Right?
Is that supreme
it's
damage?
like-
Is that immense damage? Because it's not massive damage, because that's a completely different thing.
For which character?
But for
Well,
free-to-play supervillain Jiren.
Yeah, the funny thing of like obviously it would say that, but like I'll be able to see the text and see, okay, well that's supreme damage because
Yeah.
I've seen other supreme damage text. And you know, like for example, the difference between sometimes massive raise would be translated as a great raise,
Yeah.
or you know, then I could actually see, the GP text is actually
Yeah,
a
exactly.
massive
So it
raise.
just translates exactly what it is from Japanese to English. But like you said, you kind of have to take that extra step because then you have to translate it from actual English into how Dokkan would actually word those things.
And like sometimes I even change the wording a little from how Dokkan words it to make it more understandable, because Dokkan sometimes doesn't word things the way they should, in my opinion. Like, like as the first attacker in the turn should be when this character is placed as how to explain it. How did I use to translate it? Like, as the first attacker in the turn when collecting key spheres, like kind of that kind of ability, like not when you're attacking, but rather if you're placed in the first spot of the rotation. Like you used to translate it in a way where it's like, okay, this is when this character is first in their rotation.
Pan is a bad victim of that.
Yeah.
Where her active gives you the action break and you're like, yeah, I broke the super. And then she gets hit with it. You're like, what happened?
Well, that one's that one's a little weird. It's just
Yeah.
Dokkan's weird. Dokkan's weird.
That's
what's
you can chalk almost anything up to Dokkan's weird.
True.
I guess this is kind of something that's in the back of my head when they say, like, for a super attack effect, right? If it's raises attack and then greatly raises defense, is that a stack and then a 1-turn raise, or is it just both are being raised for 1 turn?
It depends.
Yeah.
If there's
that's
what
I'm saying,
in the global translation,
Yeah.
it would be raises. Like, let's say if it's raises attack and greatly raises defense for 1 turn, that is a 1-turn raise,
Yeah, they're
because
both
it's raises
Let me pull
attack
up
and greatly raises defense. For
Okay,
1 turn.
so Goku here. So God Goku greatly raises attack and raises defense. So that's so that means he stacks or he doesn't stack.
He doesn't stack. Stacking would be Videl. If you go look at what Videl's S tier Videl, she'll be greatly raises attack.
I know I should know this, by the way.
Greatly raises defense for 1. Greatly raises attack, comma, and then that's the end of it. So she will greatly raise attack.
Okay.
That's the end of it.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so the comma, that's there. Okay, see, I mean, sometimes you gotta ask.
It would be greatly raises attack and raise defense for 4 turns. It's one.
Or they could just simplify wording,
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean,
could
I
just,
think
like,
that
very-
it should be. In my opinion, it should be greatly raises attack for 4 turns, raises defense for 4 turns, causes immense damage. Like that's what they should. They should bullet. They should make the super attack effects also in bullets. Like just like in
having it as 2
passives.
separate things. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's the fact that I do this every day. I talk about Dokkan every day, and it's like this wording is weird. Like that should tell you. It's like, yeah, this is clearly not a perfect system here.
I don't think
It's a combination of me being silly, but
it's funny because in Japanese, it's with how Japanese is like kind of like structured. They have the 4 turns first, so it's basically for 4 turns, greatly raises attack or raises defense, causes immense damage. Like that's how they word it, which is probably a better way to word it in English. But I think they like directly translate it, and like technically in English, putting 4 turns after probably sounds better, but it should be 4 turns, greatly raises attack, and raises defense, right? But it's just like weird. I think you could theoretically do it either way, and at this point, it's just making sure that it's consistent with other translations in Dokkan too.
Yeah.
It's probably another thing about it. Like they can't just like change it for one character. Okay, from here on out, it's gonna be this way. We're gonna translate it this way for every other character moving forward. They kind of would have to change every character before then because there would be an inconsistency there. But I don't know.
They could just do what Dokkan does, or what Legends did, and just lie. Where they're like, we're gonna start designing characters with a different philosophy, and then it's like, and if Legends Fest comes, and it's like, never mind.
But yeah, no, it just it is very silly when it comes to that. This translations in general. I feel like we haven't even really talked about Goku and Beerus, bro. We're just like
Yeah, we got
just
on to
talking
Go
about
Goku, and then we started talking
Conversations
about
that we
something
do the
else.
best about, where it's like it's
exactly.
not just we're not doing a factory line production here where we're telling you we like God Goku, we think he's good, we don't like his animations. You know that.
Yeah.
True.
But expansive thoughts where you get a little bit more personality in them, I think is good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because
And
we
you-
all, well,
Minato,
I say all,
yeah.
people have seen showcases by now and stuff. Like, see the animations when they come out. And yeah, there's, don't have to go into huge amounts of detail, but
Here's a thought for you. We do this live. Maybe someone asks a question and we talk about it regarding the character. And then we go from there. For those of you who
Yeah, we
watch
could do
live,
that.
that's your perk. You get to ask a question.
it's true.
There you go. But we have our every right to say no, we're not answering that. Yeah, but God Goku. I like the fact that Realm of Gods is not being an afterthought.
Yes.
As somebody who I've made it very clear. I remember we said it's like I really hope we don't get an LR God Vegeta for Saiyan Day because I don't want to summon for a Realm of Gods character. Womp womp. Here's like 4 Realm of Gods characters.
Yeah.
But the team is good. It's getting to a better place where you have more than just dodge or die options. Like a team being like a one-trick pony of just dodging is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of fights where you just get sold and it's not really your fault. And I like the cohesiveness and the different ways that you can approach team building for it, where God Goku, do you want to run him in a Realm of Gods environment? You absolutely can. But you can also have a little bit of freedom where you can do pure Saiyans, you can do hybrid Saiyans with a setup with that where you get creative freedom to make the character look different on different setups. But there's also that a Realm of Gods sort of pure Saiyan mix is where you want to be.
Yeah.
I think, at least in my experience. I don't have the character on JP where I would be able to do like everything that I want. But I do know enough to look at the character and be like, okay, Buff's here with a bunch of pure Saiyans. We know pure Saiyans. Like that is a team that will never be bad. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
The only thing that holds pure Saiyans back is the leader skills at times. Where we went through that purgatory with Super Vegeta, where it felt like he was the only leader for like almost a year. And then before that, who's the pure Saiyan lead before that? Was it the physical Vegeta, the transforming
the Saiyan
one?
Day one, yeah.
Let me look at that now because I'm just curious. But like, and then it was just like 10th anniversary. Like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's a Super Vegito and Super Gogeta. They both lead it. That was kind of strange. You don't really see that. So pure Saiyan leaders since, so the first one was AGL Evolution. Then we had, the physical transforming Vegeta. I'm right on the money today. Look at that. And then Kale was a sub lead. She was 130. Then you had Super Vegeta, but Super Vegeta was very much like short form, where you have that guaranteed crit and the guaranteed stun, but if enemies were immune to the stun, you're really losing a ton of value from the character there. Then you've got Raditz. That obviously was so Raditz went from basically a whole year. So from Raditz to Saiyan Day 2023, Raditz was the pure Saiyan lead, the 200%. Then God Goku, and then Turles. That's a bizarre pure Saiyans lead. Because Turles, you think terrifying conquerors, like pure Saiyans and big bad bosses is not really like a combo there.
Yeah.
And King Vegeta was the next one. Then Daima Goku, where it's like, talk about a jump, right? Like Daima Goku and then that Majin Vegeta.
Yeah. Yeah, Majin Vegeta being a pure Saiyans lead is interesting. So we've got multiple like Vegetas, especially now for Saiyan Day, that are like pure Saiyan leads. So
you get, just to kind of tie that back to where we were, where it's like you get God Goku just has access to a lot of teams where you can run, like I said, a pure Saiyan setup is not going to ever really be hard to run. Like unless the leader is just so out of date, you can do like a pure Saiyan setup that's on a pure Saiyan lead. Or you could do the Super Saiyan 4. So you could do Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's going to be fitting under the Goku family. You can mono pure Saiyans that out. Like all of these different things can work. And then Realm of Gods inherently, you've got Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. I should have just said Blue Vegeta, but then you've got the new God Goku. You got, who else is pure Saiyans? Obviously the LR, UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. You've got AGL UI Goku. You can sneak on teams at times. The Blue Boys. So team building with him is just not that difficult, thankfully, and that's good. I think being restricted to like 2 or 3 teams is not the end of the world. But if you're going to restrict a character, restrict them to pure Saiyans. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my TED talk on the character. Take it away.
But yeah, I do like that, the fact that you're able to run him on a different sort of setup than just Realm of Gods. Because even like a Goku family, because it can be pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans, like mix, as long as you have like 6 in total. Well, I think does he get, yeah, because the Dodge is capped at the 6, like the full team. So it gives you a couple of different options, which I think is really good. Because it's like, you know, the Vegeta that just came out as well is another Realm of Gods buff, but is like, he's obviously originally sort of aimed at crossover, but he can be run on Realm of Gods. They brought him out with the Xenoverse Trunks that supports crossover and Vegeta family. So like, I like that they're giving these guys, like, here's the main team that you want to use them on. So like Vegeta crossover, Goku, Realm of Gods, but here's this like other secondary part of their passive, so you can run them on these other teams as well. And like they'll still be good. I do like to see that they're doing that a bit more rather than like this guy's only usable on a Realm of Gods team. But I guess God Goku has historically had that sort of weird pure Saiyans, hybrid Saiyans mix, right? Because obviously the Int LR and the Physical Dokkan Fest both had like pure Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans as a leader skill. So yeah, I do quite like that. And that's one thing I haven't done that I still want to do, is just test him out on like a Goku family type build with all the best like Gokus and Gohans and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
And the beauty of it is you have a very, very high quality leader there for Goku family, where, you know, pure Saiyan's a Goku family, a lot of tie-in.
Yeah.
So Diamond Super Saiyan 4 Goku, just like one of those characters where just that leader skill is going to have him aging so well.
Yep.
That's true.
Unless bosses just like get through him, but like you got to be hitting pretty hard to just like straight up demolish that character.
Yeah.
And with HP being so high, 900k isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
You could survive that.
Yeah, we got.
I mean, we said the same with Beast Gohan one time.
Yeah, and some of
that is
these
fair,
MR
but
heavy
it took
versions
a
of
while.
these teams
I mean, eventually it'll happen though, right?
Yeah,
It's
we
quite
got
a
to
thing.
like a couple months after the 10th anniversary, he got pushed out. So, like, what's a good shelf life for a Dokkan character? Like, what's a fair number? I'm trying to think.
I think within a year time frame is like nice, but anything beyond that,
well, but what if it isn't even a year? What if you get to like, where's like the cutoff where it's like close to a year, like more than 6 months is like, if I said 7 months, what would you say about that character?
I would be like,
Didn't
like
age well, or they
like,
just like a normal
it depends,
shelf
because
life?
the character could be really good, but not age into next meta, such as Tech Super Vegeta on release. Very powerful, but next meta doesn't really fit him.
That's fair. Or they just kind of push him out a little bit, where it's like, hey, this character's long form focus, and then we just go to short. And it's like, okay. Like if every fight, imagine after Beast Gohan comes out and every fight lasted 25 turns. And it's just like every fight you go into, he loses his intro buff. It's like, okay. Was that really his fault? Like, was he a bad character? Or did the game just say, like, never mind, like we don't want you to be used? It's a tough call.
Yeah, it feels like power creep in the game now is such that like characters aren't lasting as long as they used to, right? Because it's like when Orange Piccolo came out and was the best unit in the game for like a year.
I mean,
and it's not, we don't
the Blue
see
Boys?
that as often anymore.
Blue Boys are coming up on a year.
Well, the GDC,
Yeah.
Blue Goku, yeah. I mean, the problem with them is they're still really good now, but even from when they first released, they do still have that issue of like sometimes Goku just doesn't actually dodge in slot 1 and then you die. So
It's across that bridge.
yeah.
That's my opinion. Like, because boss is also like, you think about Bio Broly, where it's just characters that just not designed to tank him. Like, it's either you're action breaking him, you're dodging him. And we talked about this earlier with the Bio Broly fight, and I think this is kind of relevant to the characters too, where I hate playing that fight because I feel like after you build him up, your floaters are just all fish.
Yeah.
Where it's just like any normal is just you lose.
Yeah.
And that's after building him up, not turn 1. So it's a very frustrating fight. Like, you'll do a showcase and you're like, I don't even know where to bring. Like, I guess we'll go do Bio Broly, and then it's like, oh, a floater took 4 million from this normal. It's like, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't get a dodge, so I lose. Showcase over.
Yep.
Like, swipes you enjoyed. It's tricky for sure. But Beerus, how do we feel about Beerus?
I like Beerus. I think he's really good.
I was waiting for a Beerus. I was like, certainly somebody. The timing was bad. I just didn't have a ton of stones, and the game is super dry right now, so it's kind of like tough to justify like going all crazy with spending on Dokkan right now.
Yeah.
So it's like it was just bad timing where I don't know if I'm going to be able to get both of these characters, unfortunately. But like a Dokkan Fest Beerus was something that I was excited for. Like I really like his intro animation.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I
Really
like he
sort
has
of-
the sort of like just that sort of like turn over the shoulder like thing is very cool.
Mhm.
Like it's a very good intro for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's very good. I think he's cool. I tried out, like I said, I tried out the Rainbow Showcase using the unspeakable device. And yeah, he's
Okay.
very, very interesting. And obviously you can see from his kit, like he's going to be designed to work really well with the EZA and the Super EZA, because he gives that extra support to characters whose name includes Whis. But like he's got solid stats, he's got guard. The active skill is like a buff for all Realm of Gods, which is cool. Like it's one of those things where I feel like previous Beerus units, even if they were good, they kind of felt out of place on the Realm of Gods setups that we had, because like the Wii Spanner unit, to be fair, the STR one when he came out was actually pretty good, but it basically felt like Beerus was fighting for that spot on the team where he's going to be run with a whole bunch of like Saiyan characters and not link super well with them, and so then end up not being very good. Whereas this guy, like, obviously still in the same sort of situation where the Realm of Gods team, most of the best characters are pure Saiyan characters, but even with him only having like fierce battle and godly power, like he's still putting out some pretty serious damage, and having some pretty crazy, like I think in the like start of his second turn, because he stacks his defense for like 4 turns, so start of his second appearance he's got like 2.5 million defense, and he's got the like 250% when he gets hit, and he's got guard. So like I think I worked it out like in the video that I was doing, I think it was like it might have been like turn 5 or 6, something like that, where he'd gotten a few supers off. I think there might have been a support unit on the rotation as well. But like when you add it all up with all the defense when he gets hit and the fact that he's got guard, he's tanking like, like 12 million damage supers for like double-digit damage, which is very good. And it's like you said, one of the big things for the Realm of Gods team is it's nice to have a character on the team that isn't completely reliant on dodge. Because yeah, he can be very, very tanky in the right situations as well, which I think is really good.
For sure. I think that's it's just like a variety with a team where it can just be very frustrating, where it's just like you're constantly losing runs to this one mechanic that's like it's completely out of your control whether or not characters are dodging.
Yeah, that's the thing with like with that blue Goku. It's like with the team, when you're relying on a character that their defense is based on dodge, like if they're your slot 1 for that rotation, then it's like you didn't do anything wrong. Like that was the right play. Like that's the guy that goes in slot 1, but then he doesn't dodge, and so you lose. And like not through any fault of your own. It's just the RNG, which is understandably quite frustrating. But I know a lot of people don't like to consider that blue Goku like one of the best units because he does rely on dodge against some of the harder hitting super attacks. But yeah, it's nice to have that
without
variation.
RNG. Yeah, I don't know. Like a meta that felt like it didn't have much RNG was like the Beast Gohan meta.
Yeah,
and I don't know that at one point that kind of got old. It's just like
I think
Beast
that's probably
Gohan
why
never leaves slot 1.
It's
tanks
funny actually,
everything.
because I'd not really thought about it like that until you sort of brought it up now. But like maybe that is one of the reasons why Gohan felt so like dominantly like best unit in the game and gapping all these other units, because he was just straight up tanking everything. He wasn't one of these best units in the game but relies on dodge in like certain situations, like Blue Goku or physical UI Goku from the anniversary and stuff like that, like Goma even as well, right? If after he takes those first 3 hits, like those units can be some of the best tanks in the game, But if they don't dodge in certain situations, then you just die. Whereas Beast Gohan, yeah, he was just straight up actually tanking everything, which is potentially why like he felt so ridiculous
and hiding other
powerful.
people and hiding other
Yeah, and protecting the whole team as well. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like unnecessary. Like, I very much appreciated how good he was, but I think there was a level of evil to him where it was like, man, he makes this game easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would Jiren have been the same if there was a level on that, a unit on that level, or it's like he makes this fight super simple?
Yeah, it's like he
I don't know.
disables
The Jiren
dodge. It's like,
yeah.
oh well, I'll just put my Beast Gohan level unit in slot 1. He just tanks everything. Yeah, true.
Right. And then the AoE, just put some AoE level characters that could deal with an AoE, maybe super high early damage reduction. I don't know. It's a what if conversation.
Yeah,
It's impossible to scale it that way because UI Goku is objectively a more powerful character than Beast Gohan was, but Beast Gohan just like the tools around Beast Gohan at the time were not as good, so it's just a different comparison.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what easy A's. Do we have expectations for those? With like Beerus or Whis and the Whis and Beerus?
I feel like just to give my little opinion on Beerus first. I think he's really good. Honestly, I feel like I'm a huge fan of him. I think his leader skill is pretty good as well. He's just a very powerful, straightforward character, and we were talking about Beast Gohan as well. But I feel like me with him in slot 1, I feel very comfortable with this guy in slot 1. Like I really do. And I feel like he just does so much with like the healing and the support, the damage reduction support. I mean, you could run Tech Super Easy Beerus. You could use that guy because he has now 70% reduction. As long as you get him by the first turn, he gets his build up. Like he's actually a pretty decent option as slot 3 character. So yeah, I actually really do like this in Beerus a lot. And I just felt like talking about him just because I feel like I wanted to shout out the GOAT. God Goku's good as well, but I actually really like this in Beerus. But yeah, in terms of easy A's, I mean, it'll just really help out this Beerus quite a lot. I mean, we know that S tier Whis and then Beerus Whis are gonna their easy A, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that STR Whis one is going to be interesting because with the pre-easy A, he has the thing where he's only a support unit if there's a Beerus on the rotation. And that's the biggest thing that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing with his easy A as to whether that gets affected or not, because it would be nice because Realm of Gods, we were talking about the versatility of the team and stuff. One of the big things that the team kind of doesn't really have outside of the Int Blue Vegeta Super Easy A is they don't have a really, really good floating support unit. And that Whis has the potential to be that as long as it's not limited to only when there's a Beerus ally, because that's currently pre-Easy A, that's what he has in his kit, where he only supports all allies if there's a unit whose name includes Beerus on the turn. Now obviously it helps with the Super Easy A Beerus and Whis as well. But yeah, it kind of depends on the setup you want to run, because especially if you don't have the Int Beerus, you're not going to have a character whose name includes Beerus on every single rotation. So really looking forward to seeing what he does in terms of support. And then I feel like the LR, they do have some interesting potential, because I think I'm trying to think back to when they got their Easy A originally. I think they were one of those ones where they weren't necessarily bad, but they weren't super good. People didn't really make a huge sort of fuss about them. I feel like I literally just don't remember anyone really talking about their Easy A. It's very basic. Obviously their Easy A is quite old, so if you look at their kit now, obviously they're very, very basic, but obviously that's the beauty of Super Easy A's, is we've seen some of these characters turn from having 2 or 3 line passives into having an entire novel. So I feel like these guys have potential for being just a crazy hard-hitting character that gets a lot of that support from both the Beerus, because the unit's name includes Whis, and then the STR Whis, because the unit's name includes Beerus. So that rotation that's Int Beerus slot 1, LR Beerus and Whis slot 2, and then STR Whis slot 3. That has some crazy potential, I think. So definitely looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
Yep. I mean, Beerus and Whis, The one thing I would want for them to get fixed, honestly, is they do need to receive a hit, I believe, for their defense, right? Like for their attack
after they
defense,
receive an
defense.
attack, they get 70% attack and defense and a high chance to dodge for 7 turns.
Exactly,
That
the
means they have to
dodge
get hit.
after they receive an attack.
Yeah.
So I think they should just have the dodge baseline, obviously, and
Yeah.
then still the multiplicative stats are fine, but they need a baseline dodge chance. That would be pretty dumb for them to have to get hit to get that, especially because I feel like they're going to be in slot 2 now. This is one of these characters that I could see them like just completely changing, like with an EZA.
Yeah.
Their super tech effects are also really good. They have so much healing.
Yeah, they heal on both, don't
And-
they?
Yeah, 15% 18 key, 10% 12 key. They have just like a 50% raise on his 18 key. Like their super attack effect is really good. We're getting to the point where the super EZAs have good super attack effects already, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, like obviously their original super EZAs, like their super attack effects were just like 2016 or more like 2018, 2019, right? And it's like not really crazy, but now we're getting like actual good ones consistently. So I mean, this is going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, imagine what happens when we start getting into like a few years from now, and we're talking about like 2020 characters getting super EZAs, like Tech
Yeah.
Ultimate Gohans.
Mhm.
Jeez. Yeah.
It's just the game is just gonna be such a different spot. Then it's gonna be. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen.
It's actually gonna die.
Oh, right. Limited time content will kill the game forever. True.
Yeah.
true.
So, you know, speaking of things that are going to kill the game, not literally, but like we haven't really talked about alternate art.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna
yeah,
say,
that's
that
a
was
thing.
on the
I mean-
list of things to bring up. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it doesn't even need much discussion. I don't think alternate arts are gonna cause any.
I think
chat.
my buddy said something. It was definitely like on the tone of cope, but I think the best way to approach it is, I said like it better just be like if you spend 50 stones, you get this art. But it's certainly I don't think it's going to be that way.
No.
But what I think is possible is those alternate art characters just go to the pool because they're the same unit.
Oh, I mean, it's the same character, but I don't think it would go to the pool because I assume
No,
it could be for
They
limited
want to
characters.
incentivize those summons.
Yeah, that too. Like it's also like limited. Like it could be for a limited character. Like it could be for like an LR or something like that. Like maybe the alternate arts here are for like what if like Tech Beerus and then like Ejo God Goku like get alternate arts or something crazy. I don't know. I guess maybe it would be better if it's a more usable character, but I wonder who the alternate arts could be. I mean, you could theoretically say it could be for the new Dokkan Fest, but I'm not sure. I assume it's going to be for older characters. Like, what if it's Beerus and Whis and then God Goku, like the like old int God Goku LR.
I would have to look at the producer letter wording and then kind of see like what their intention was with it. Other like saying it was summons was like, oh, like that's not, because people are comparing it to supporters, and I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, supporters have an actual impact in
function.
game.
Yeah,
This is just cosmetic.
that and they're taking the place of 1% in a lot of banners. And Dokkan is not saying
it's not like
we're
they're
not doing
putting-
banner units anymore to give an alternate art version.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely like a greedy thing where it's like, oh, I don't know if I like that, but I don't think like a lot of the core stuff of the game is really going to be impacted by this. It's just something else for players to summon on, and really like it's just like whales got to summon for more if they want everything, and like
Yeah, it's one of
That's
those
not
things
really-
that it's like, it's as long as, because it's from the sounds of it, it's just cosmetic. So yeah, it's one of those things that I get it. For some people, it will create that sort of like FOMO, like urge to like summon and spend, but it doesn't do anything for you like in the game. It's just literally it's the same thing as like games, obviously comparing gacha games to other games that have like loot boxes and stuff like that. It is basically just the same thing as like buying skins, right? In like Fortnite or Overwatch and stuff like that, right? It's like it doesn't actually do anything for your gameplay. It doesn't make your character better. It's just an aesthetic change that you can choose to summon for if you want to. And I know some people don't like that kind of stuff because it's more things to spend on. And that's a whole conversation in and of itself that we've talked about in the past briefly, but like when it comes to gacha games and like there being these extra temptations of things to summon on. But I do think it's one of those things that, like, for most people, it's not really going to be something that you have to worry about too much. Like, if it's not something you're interested in, you don't have to summon for them. It's just the same characters that are already coming out, just with a different art. But yeah, I mean, like we said before, some people play this game as a collection game and only summon for characters with like the arts and animations that they really like. So maybe those people will find this a frustrating change. But yeah, the other thing I think is a very good point is the fact that people are getting sort of up in arms about it very quickly, but we still don't really know like all the details of it. Like we don't know exactly what it's going to be, how it's going to be done. Like we don't really know how it's going to be put into practice, whether it's like a separate banner or like, yeah, who knows? So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out. It's not something that I'm super particularly like fussed about myself. I probably won't summon for any alternate arts, depending on what they are, I guess. Who knows? Maybe something will come out that I want. But from the way they explained it, because it's like the free-to-play Rosé clones, it's the same unit, but it's also like a new unit. So let's say an alternate art comes out for like a character that I really like the prime example that I could see somebody picking out like for me is like, imagine if they release like an alternate art like Marseillan, and it's like, that would be cool, but then if I summon for it and I pull it, then I have that unit with the cool art, but they're 55% and like not link leveled and stuff, so they're not even like, obviously Marseillan is not a good example because it's not a usable unit in the meta anyway, but the fact that it's then like a whole new unit, it's like they're even less useful than like a character that you already had dupes for and stuff. So I think it just is going to be one of those things that like whale collector people will take advantage of, and then for everybody else it's just not going to be that much of a thing, I guess. But I suppose we have to see.
Yeah, we need to see for sure. It's like there's not much to say as well. Like I said this right, but we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know how the banner looks. We don't know what the characters are going to be. We don't know a lot about it. We only just know it's just going to be cosmetic. So
yeah,
we
well,
gotta
someone
wait until it's in the
someone
game.
said in the chat they're going to be summons. There's not much to imagine how that's going to work. Well, that's the thing. We
Right.
don't know. Like, but we don't know. Like, is it going to be a banner that has X amount of characters that all have alternate arts, or is it going to be
Well, we know it's
like,
2 character alternate arts, right?
yeah,
So,
like there'll be a
like, we
part
don't
2
know
LR
how-
banner, and like not only will it be the part 2 LR, but like one of the old LRs that's featured, like we mentioned in God Goku, on that specific banner in God Goku is featured but has alternate art, like, or are they going to be a separate thing? Like, that's the thing, we just don't know how it's going to work.
But so we don't know what the format is. Like we know, guys, it's a summon. You just put Dragon Stones the banner, and you summon and get the character.
Well, it's like the we know that
Like,
it's implied.
It's the It's the
Intricacies.
Maybe I'm just dumb. Never mind. You win. You win. You win. You win. Chatter, you win.
I thought you were saying like I'm not arguing with you.
No, the chat wins, bro. Hey, fumbled.
But interestingly enough, I guess, with the mention of the part 2 LR, we do have a super chat from Raldo, so shout out to him for the $2. He says, do you guys think there's gonna be a part 2 LR? So that's the interesting thing, right? Because the schedule is all over the place. Like, we don't have Golden Week the way it was supposed to be. Golden Week usually has a part 2 LR, but we already got an LR because we got the Ultra Supervillain Vegeta. So what do you guys think that we'll see with this celebration? Will it have a part 2? Will there be another summonable unit? Like, what do you think?
Well, I think that we already got the part 2 LR. God, Vegeta. 2 banner units, part 2 LR. Golden Week without banner units. Interesting.
Yeah.
Curious, I feel like they just switch things around. And also, like, I just don't think that they would, okay, here's the dual Dokkan Fest here, then we're going to have a part 2 LR on the 19th, then on the 30th, we're going to have the next Dokkan Fest. Like, I just don't see them doing.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is
with the dual Dokkan Fest, like Golden Week, they usually drop the dual Dokkan Fest on the 22nd, or more so like the 24th. Then they wait like 3 weeks before dropping the part 2 LR. Then 2 weeks later, we'll see that. It just kind of reversed, where it's like, okay, the part 2 LR came out. 2 weeks later, we get Golden Week. Then 3 weeks later, we get the next.
Well, the interesting thing to think about is because Drace mentioned this in the chat. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. The interesting thing about whether or not there's going to be a part two, I guess, is the thing with. I know it's not always set in stone, but there's always this thing with like when characters get easy A's, they make them available in whatever the summon is for that celebration. So like the examples are for like the Namek Saga celebration. Nappa and Tech Raditz got their easy A's. Obviously, Physical Raditz got his easy A, but he was just on the Nappa and Vegeta banner. STR Nappa and Tech Raditz got their easy A's, so then they were featured on the Part 2 banner. So obviously for LR Beerus and Whis and STR Whis, they're going to get their easy A's, but they're not on the current banners because obviously they're not Dokkan Fests. So usually Dokkan has some way of making those characters available to you with a banner of some kind. So unless they do one of those weird Extreme Z banners that they haven't done for a while, it would make sense with the format that we've seen them do recently that there would be a part 2 banner and then those 2 units would be featured on that banner. That's the normal way that they've done it, but obviously I also agree with the fact that I've been saying this for weeks now that like, yeah, Vegeta was technically the part 2 LR. He had the banner units. So that combined with this dual Dokkan Fest means we've actually gotten everything that we would have got with Golden Week already, technically. But yeah, I'm not sure. Phil, what do you think? Part 2 or no?
Probably not. I would say it's just the way that it's gone. Like, I feel like they've kind of just like shuffled the schedule a little bit, where just the LR came first this year. That's kind of like all I really.
Yeah, I agree. And also the thing is, I saw people mention
part 2 dual Dokkan Fest, quote unquote.
Yeah, like it's a part 1 LR, part 2 dual Dokkan Fest, which they haven't done before. But yeah, it's funny because I saw someone mention like this is the first Golden Week in however many years that didn't have banner units. And obviously we saw like Vegeta got the 2 banner units instead.
Thank you.
And I think in this instance, like that makes perfect sense because Realm of Gods doesn't need all those extra characters, right? Like it doesn't need an extra 2 like banner units. Plus, if you think about, you know, especially when you think about the last time we got God Goku as a Dokkan Fest, like who would the banner units even be other than it just being like another Whis for Beerus and then like a Vegeta maybe for Goku. Whereas Crossover desperately needed those extra characters, right? So Vegeta having the 2 banner units, I think that makes perfect sense. So I don't think these guys not having banner units is a big deal. Although, of course, it does play into what we said right at the start when talking about the banners, right? The fact that the banners are pretty terrible. Whereas at least if they both had a good banner unit, because banner units have been pretty on point recently as well. Just another good thing Dokkan has been doing.
The Cybermen were goated for what they were.
That in Xeno Trunks is actually really good. I managed to pull him multiple times before pulling Vegeta, so I got mine to like 90%. And he's really good. So yeah, they've been doing a good job with banner units, but yeah, Crossover desperately needed those extra 2 characters, where Realm of Gods doesn't really need the extra units. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Like, I guess the only other thing is Drace also says, like, what if they're the summonable? What if they're the alternate arts, like those 2 characters, STR Whis and STR Beerus and Whis? But I don't know, that also kind of feels, I mean, Beerus and Whis maybe, but like that kind of feels like an unhype choice for like the first 2 summonable alternate arts. Like, does anyone really care about an alternate art for STR Whis? Probably not.
I mean, no. Like, I feel like we'll see. Speaking of SJR specifically, though, I think he gave me some pretty bad luck the other day. So they got to give him like 90% dodge, bro. And like damage reduction. It just increases defenses and support. No one cares about his damage.
Yeah, exactly. He's, like I said, he's there to be like a support unit for the team. That's what we want to see. We do have a question from Mr. Hellwalker on the Twitch side. What do you think is going to be Global's anniversary as the TDC is now the end of June / beginning of July, now that they've moved around the time slots? Because obviously I can't remember. We know the exact sort of the rough exact time of when the Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to come out. So a lot of people had kind of guessed that we were going to see Realm of Gods around that time, or Battle of Gods around that time. But obviously that seems to kind of not be the case anymore. So now that the global anniversary is basically going to be what has always historically been the Tanabata celebration. So last year, Dokkan Fest LR, Tech Golden Frieza and Gogeta, Reversible Exchange, and then part 2 Carnival LR Tech Broly. So what do you guys think, or what would you like to see for Tanabata, aka was it Transcendent Dokkan campaign, aka Global
Honestly,
Anniversary?
Cell Saga would be a really good choice.
We got to give up on Namek for now.
Yeah,
I think
We'll see eventually.
if you don't say it, maybe they'll do it.
yeah,
Maybe. But like I think we'll see what they do. I mean, they could always throw us for a loop because no one expected Future Saga for last year's GDC. So they could do what if they do Dragon Ball Super? Just like, yeah, here's another UA Goku. What if they do like, okay, what else could they do that would just like surprise people, but it's like a hype, like quote unquote hype pick? Maybe I like wouldn't be superhero.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like something like Vegito Blue feels like something that if they're gonna do a standalone one anytime soon, they're probably
They
saving that
could
for
do a Vegito Blue.
GDC or anniversary.
It could be.
I'm here for it. The
But-
perfect linking partner for the Blue Boys.
I feel like
I
they're
mean,
saving that. They'll save him for anniversary or GDC, surely, a standalone Blue Vegito. But I don't know. Future Saga again could be kind of interesting, I suppose, but it depends.
Mhm.
Like,
It'd be funny.
I mean, I know people want like a standalone Vegito Blue, but someone did mention a while back, I think, or it might have even been in one of the previous episodes in the chat, someone saying about the idea of like a reversible exchange Vegito Blue and Sword of Hope Trunks, I think would be pretty cool.
I think that'd be awesome too.
And then have the part 2 Carnival. It's like have that as the Tanabata LR, and then the part 2 Carnival LR as a new Fusion Zamasu. I think that would be pretty cool. Or we could finally actually get like transforming Goku Black and Zamasu that transform into Zamasu like as a proper fusion and not the like GDC active skill. But yeah, Future Saga again I think could be kind of cool. But yeah, it's funny because you say like Vil mentioning Namek Saga, like obviously people have a lot of frustration with Dokkan Frontier. Because we've got more nodes.
How'd they find
for
a way to
that.
mess that up?
Yeah, like it sucks, man. Because like I see people criticizing it, and like the category thing, I think is like the valid criticism, right? Because I do
Sure.
like the mode. I think it's cool. I think it's
Me
fun.
too.
I think it's like an interesting design, like fun little mode. But my god, they made the biggest mistake, like starting it as like Namek Saga while not having a Namek Saga celebration with new units. Because like every mission has pretty much resorted to like, oh, just use like the Ginyu Force as like team A, and then team B throw on the characters that the node is like making you bring, but just don't use them and just beat them with the Ginyu Force. Like the idea of it is fun, but like in practice, I think especially with the last couple of nodes, I think the first one was a bit more fun because it was new and there was a bit more variation. But now, especially with the next lot of stages they've brought out, it just feels like more of a chore. Which could have been so much like would have been so fixed. I guess the timing was a little bit off because the stages came out like a few days before this Beerus and God Goku. But imagine if like this celebration was like a new Namek, Goku, and Frieza instead. And like make the last part of that Namek thing because it's not finished either, right? So there's still going to be at least more Namek stages because we haven't gotten to the end of the Namek Saga story. So have those stages come out, drop a new Goku and Frieza, and then have the last set of stages come out where you have to use Goku and Frieza in those fights, and then that would have been fine. But I think I saw Truth make the comment. It's like, imagine if they just started with like Boo Saga instead, with like all these different characters that you can use. We just got a new Martian Vegeta, like we just got a new Dabura. Like it would have been so much better with a different category. And yeah, so that's the thing. I think it's a really cool mode. I like it. I think it's fun and a bit different. But yeah, making it Namek Saga, I think, was a bit of a fumble for the first part.
Yeah. We'll see what eventually happens though. Like, I think the future Dokkan is pretty bright still, just regardless.
Yeah,
I think
so.
the tone, it's like the game is dying from Twitter, is just something that you can't really. It's just an echo chamber of negativity of that
Yeah.
app. That's all it is. And that's okay. Like, it's negativity drives impressions on social media. It's just the nature of it. And doom and gloom. People that say they don't play the game, they say they quit, they tweet about the game all day. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, exactly.
So it is what it is. No shots, but you know,
Mhm.
like, I'm laughing. A good friend, Brother Russia, said they quit, but they rainbow like every character.
Yeah.
They're like, wouldn't it be funny if I rainbowed them? It's like, I guess, but you said you quit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the
I love Brother
Namek
Russia. Nice
roster
guy.
is not good.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can get that wrapped up and then have a more fun one. Because yeah, in terms of the way the mode works and everything, I think it is cool, but just needs to be something a little bit. Even like Future Saga, like, because I think Boo Saga is like the biggest category, but even like Future Saga would be fun because of the different amount of characters that are available. Like maybe even make one of the secret, and they're not really secret, but like the special sub nodes you can unlock by beating one of them with a special condition. Like you could make one
Mhm.
of those be that you have to use like the Rose clone team and stuff like something like that would be really cool. But like the Namek Saga just doesn't have that sort of level of these different like fun characters, and that's the problem with picking one of the sagas that has so few characters in it. But
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully the next one will, after Namek is wrapped up, hopefully the next one will be a bit more exciting.
I would agree.
I agree too. I mean, we'll see, but I don't know. I think that's pretty much all there is to cover for today. No,
Maybe.
am I missing
Alternate
something?
art, new characters, easy A's. There were no banner units. Limited time event discussion 344.
Yeah.
The
I mean, the global update is late, but like,
yeah, it's like, what is there really to talk about with that one, right?
it
Other than the
sucks.
fact that it
problem-
sucks.
yeah,
I want to be able to mass
yeah,
sell
it's-
my Rs and SRs, damn it.
Yeah,
okay.
I think
Like next
yeah.
month, just save them all, man. Okay.
the theory here is that not even the theory. It's like the solution is, if we have to wait for all these app stores to approve it, wait on JP too. Like, if that's it, I don't know. I guess they just don't care. It's like, global players can be mad. We don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna drop it when it's ready for the Japanese version because it's one app store. But I will say, like, talking about it in the producer letter and then saying, yeah, we gotta wait till June, like, that sucks.
That's so crazy.
Like,
I
that's
missed it
yeah.
the first time I watched it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where, like, I guess, like, we get accused of just like, oh, you know, you just accept everything that Dokkan throws at you and like you just lap it up or whatever. But like, I think for me, a lot of it just comes back to, I still remember the days, as we've mentioned many times when we've talked about issues with like the sync and stuff like that. I still just remember the days where Global would have to wait 6 months for everything. So like the update being a bit after the JP one, but it's not 6 months later. That's still better than what it used to be like back in the day. I do agree that like it is stupid to not just release them at the same time. I don't see why, like, unless it is to do with the various app stores and all that kind of stuff. But even then, like, how long does that really take to get that kind of approval stuff? You would think like a few weeks at most, ideally.
Right.
But
I saw. Was it a YouTube comment or my Discord? Brazil is the problem.
oh yeah, because apparently Dokkan is like unavailable in Brazil.
It's
now or
not. Yeah, that's
something.
what it was. Yeah. I don't know if that's correct though. I don't. Like I said, I'm kind of talking out of my ass a
I
little
think
bit there,
Minato
but
tweeted about it, but I can't remember what the
maybe that's what it was.
conclusion was.
That's why
Wait,
we
what-
have Minato on the show.
'Cause I
They're
think
very
at-
good with.
At first, I think
things.
people at first thought that Brazil had just got like Belgiumed and like they couldn't
Oh,
buy stones,
yeah.
but apparently Dokkan's just
Mhm.
not available at all for
In the
them
App
anymore.
Store. So it's like it's theoretically possible that because Brazil isn't in the App Store, Belgium, I don't know if Belgium was ever taken off the App Store. I know that they stopped letting them buy stones.
Okay.
But like that could be the issue. A lot of people brought up Belgium and said, "Oh no, the same thing happened to Belgium though." So I'm like, might not be it. Like again, at the end of the day, we don't know like the actual thing. We can only
No.
guess, and just like assume.
We hit start recording and upload video. Like there's only so many things we can answer, you know. It's the insider information conspiracy theory is always fun, but I know I don't have
Yeah.
it. Well, you campaigning for Pui Pui and then it happening was
Well, because I'm
suspicious.
awesome, I just know.
Yeah,
That was funny.
So that
I
doesn't help
told
your
you.
case personally.
Well, no, all I'm saying is I'm telling you, like I'm just the best guesser of all time.
We've done this not argument, but we've done this conversation, and then I'm just gonna say int blues easy A, and then we're gonna move on. It's a silly game we play. They do silly things. You think you got them figured out, and then you don't. That's what I've learned.
True.
That's what I'll be writing in my my memoir.
Your memoir. Yeah, I think
agree.
that is. I think that's mostly everything for this celebration. Well, for everything we've got so far. I guess
Of course.
I'm expecting it was the Easy A details will probably be tomorrow morning or tonight for you guys. I think because based on the normal things that we've seen the last few weeks or celebration things, it should be in terms of my time. It's like Twitter details Sunday morning, and then the Easy A's come out on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I think that will be. So I think we'll see the Easy A details in like. If you're listening to this live and you're hearing me say this like right now, I think the Easy A details will be in 11
Well,
hours
depends
from
on-
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do
So-
they do it at 4 a.m. Eastern, or do they do it like 10 o'clock?
It's
PM
9
Eastern?
a.m.
Like,
for me. So
yeah.
it's like 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, I think.
I get the most jealous of Minato for Dokkan time zone, where 4 a.m. is just 1 o'clock, which is still late, but it's not as bad.
Yep. So awesome.
It's like, oh, the banners are at 3 a.m. It's like, oh, it's just midnight. I can summon and then go to bed. For me, it's like I have to sacrifice a lot of sleep to do this. But I'm also talking to someone from the UK. So
yeah, dude, the
that's
producer
like,
letters are at
it's
like
twice as
4
bad.
a.m. for me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, poor you.
yeah.
Well, 4 a.m. like a 4 a.m. banner, my time works out well for you because it's like 9 a.m. That's just like, all right, you can go to bed and wake up and the banner will be.
Yeah, the banners
I
for me,
feel
like
like-
the Beerus and God Goku banners were at 6 a.m., which isn't too bad.
The thing
right?
about 4 a.m. though is low key. It's like, okay, if it was 4 a.m. for me, I could just go to sleep a little early and wake up and then just be ready for the banner and just stay up for the rest of the day. But being at 1 a.m., I can't just like go to sleep.
Yeah, this is what I've said before with these weird times for like when they've done producer letters or like the streams. Because if it's like 3 a.m. or something, it's like, yeah, you don't want to have to go to bed super early and then be trying to get up at 3 a.m. But then it means you've got to stay up until 3 a.m. The thing itself is like half an hour. Then you want to make a video about it. So then it's like by the time you go to bed, it's actually like 4:30, maybe nearly 5 a.m. by the time you actually get to go to bed. So yes, sometimes the times can be awkward. I do like the fact that with the daylight savings now, the news time, the normal news time, like the Easy A details and stuff, is 9 a.m. for me. That's a much more reasonable time. But
We're gonna do the same thing next year because I think I've been doing this show since 2024. Maybe it's 2020. Yeah, I think it was 2024. But both years that I've done the show, we've had the same issue with daylight saving, where like I'm ready to go at 3, but it hasn't changed for you.
yep.
That's like
Yeah, that
like,
stupid daylight
Minato and I
savings
were
thing
here.
where it takes like 2
Yeah,
weeks, and
we
you
were-
guys are like, "Are we live in like half an hour?"
Yeah,
and
I'm
sat
gonna go
there
do
like-
something else
I'm
'cause
sat
we're
there
not
like eating
recording
my
tonight,
dinner,
I
and I'm
guess.
like, "No, it's an hour and a half." What do you mean? And then I remember that your clocks have changed and mine hasn't. So,
Yeah, and it's gonna happen again next year. It's, just
it's
how it
going to happen
goes.
every time. Let's go.
Mhm.
Good old daylight savings.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like I sit around, I wait for 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, I guess if Ningen doesn't show up in the next 20 minutes, like I'm just gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go do what I wanted to do.
Ooh.
kidding. But it's no, today I was actually excited for the show. It's a nice little schedule here. I got this episode and then Backlash is in like an hour. So I'm just gonna go do that after.
Backlash. I'm a huge fan.
Backlash.
Dude, I am a huge fan because I'd seen him on the indies and like his YouTube channel and stuff. I'm a huge fan of how over Danhausen is in WWE. It's great.
It took a week. I have a buddy who's very much into like AEW and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
same.
were the only person who had any sort of reaction to their reveal.
Yeah,
Because do you know how they did it?
yeah. I saw some clips of.
Well, they hyped up a box for like 2
Yeah.
weeks or something like that. And they're like, "Who's in the box?" And everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Gonna be Cena." And then it's like, "Who the hell's this guy?" And everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's Danhausen." And
Yeah, it's good times.
It's like kind of just squinting at the screen, watching him run around, and it's like, "What's going on here?" And like, it's fun. So
But yeah, it's
that's
good.
on my list after this. I got to do a short and watch Backlash.
Nice. Well, let me guess, Minato. After this for you, Gekshin.
Well, later tonight I will have a stream with like 7 other Gexen creators.
Oh, nice.
We're doing like a big collaboration thing, and then after is going to be the season 5 reveals.
Ooh.
So it'll be pretty busy.
Well, there you go.
The main squeeze is squeezing. It's all about evolution.
Well, I mean, when GC hits,
Yeah,
I'll
you'll be
like,
back
"Hey."
to reap the rewards,
I
then
did
run.
do-
You're
I
like
did do
LeBron.
No, I still do cover Dokkan.
You do. But you're
So
still like
that's-
LeBron. Anniversary ends, Gekishin's the main thing. That's your Truth calls himself LeBron, you're LeBron.
Okay.
I think he calls himself LeBron because everyone hates him, right? Or everyone gives him hate. Or something like that.
yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But you're LeBron because you leave when it gets bad. You don't leave. I'm just giving you a hard time.
We should like destroy you.
If I could do content on another game, I would, but I can't.
I love Gexen Squadron. Thank you, Gexen.
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about it years ago when the possibility came up as well, which is a very brief like aside talking about other games and other content. Have you seen the thing,
JoJo?
Minato? Yeah, about a new JoJo game coming out.
I saw that. Yeah,
That's right. We will
Awesome.
be
Mr.
we will be
Baby.
there.
I'll be playing it. I'm not sure if I'll make content. No, it's only mobile.
Yeah,
Sucks.
I didn't do that for Bleach Soul Resonance. I'm like, I don't want to content pill myself on this game. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, sometimes some games you just gotta enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy Dokkan, but there's
I
very
enjoy
much like
Dokkan and Gexen, but like
it's hard. Well, yeah, that's the thing because it's hard to appreciate a Dokkan Fest TN as much as I would want to,
Mm.
because it's just like, oh, my views are gonna tank, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to appreciate it,
Yeah, I know what
and
you
it's not
mean.
because I want to. And it's just like, oh boy, all right, well, time to fire up them farm guides.
That's fair.
Unit content ain't doing nothing. So it's like,
it's true.
at least God Goku's pretty exciting. I just wish they would have handled the visuals a bit better.
Mm.
I feel like I want to start my own toxic positivity movement. Where I'm just like done complaining.
Okay, that in mind it there. We appreciate y'all for stopping
Yeah, love you guys.
by.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you guys
Get together.
enjoyed.
What's the
see
Patrick
y'all
quote?
later.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Exactly.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Anyways, we'll catch y'all next time. Peace out, guys.
Bye.